Yeah, g'day, how you going there? We're out inspecting fences and so on the property, and there's a little grove of beech she oaks here, so I thought we'd just have a little talk about them because, you know, you might wonder where things come from. You know, you go to the hardware shop and you buy some stuff. Where's it come from? Well, if you use resin for making anything out of wood, you know, any marine grade resin, it comes from this particular variety of tree. And this is the place where they all originally came from. This is called the beech she oak, Casuarina equistifolia. Now these trees are being grown in America, where I believe they become a bit of a pest plant because they are so hardy that they can grow in salty ground. Now this is why we call them the beech she oak in this region, because you can actually go along the ocean beach and see these things growing in the sand dunes right alongside the ocean water, you know. So they're very, very tolerant of salt. They have pine needly type of foliage on them rather than a broad leaf, which allows them to tolerate long periods of drought if needed. And so you'll see varieties of she oak right throughout Australia, including in the central deserts where you hardly get any rain at all, and they'll do quite well there. They have a very extensive root system, so what we use them here for, our main use for them locally here is if you've got, say there's a bit of low ground over there, if you can see it. Hang on. You can see that's a bit of a pan there. It's not a salt pan, it just looks like that. It's white because there's limestone at the base of it, in that particular soak. But if that was infested with salt, which happens quite a bit due to the way humans interact with their environment, usually destroying it, then the Department of Agriculture would come along and plant a grove of she oaks in that kind of low ground, and it would restore the area. It actually gets rid of the salt. It's one way that we use the plant here to get rid of areas of high salinity and make it useful again, you know. So that's how tolerant the tree is of salt and how hardy it is. This is also one of the fastest growing trees in the world. It grows about 3 metres a year when it's going well. So, you know, if you've got a little sprout turn up in your backyard, you leave it there, by the time the following year comes it will be about 10 feet tall. And it just keeps going at that rate. So that's the Casuarina equistifolia, or the beech she oak, you know. So next time you go to a hardware shop and you go to pay, was it about $25 for a litre of resin or varnish, just remember this tree because it's where it came from.